I am myself a mother, and as any parent will tell you, one of the toughest things you ever have to do is leave your child at the schoolhouse door. When you think about it, every child in this country spends most of their life, most of their waking time in a school. And in that context, we as parents, we as communities, and we as a nation entrust schools with the care, development, and character of the young people who are there every single day. So we owe it to ourselves and to each other to make sure that they're doing their job well.
A wide number of states have very general anti-bullying statutes. I think it's close to 30 states who have enacted such legislation, but only a handful of them have specifically delineated helping protect children who are being harassed or bullied on the basis of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
More than 50 national groups involved with education, civil rights, and human rights are championing the Safe Schools Improvement Act, an act that would amend No Child Left Behind to require that all schools that receive federal funding have an enumerated anti-bullying policy in place at the school level. What we found is you have to name the problem in order to get people to take action. You need a laundry list in there that says race, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity. If you don't say it out loud, people will ignore it.
It is a heartbreaking story for any parent. A young boy bullied so severely that he took his own life. Tonight, the boy's mother is hoping her story helps other families.
Carl really just enjoyed life. He was very fun-loving. He was a practical joker. He loved church. He loved the Lord. He loved to play sports. And he was really carefree. He wanted to be the first African-American president. He was so excited when the president was elected. And when he had problems in school and he wasn't feeling very good about himself, you know, because his father wasn't really an active participant in his life, I would tell Carl, I said, look at President Obama. He had a single mom too, single parent, and now he's the president of the United States. Carl, you can do anything that you want if you put your mind to it. Well, he was very reluctant to, you know, talk to me about what was going on in school. But I knew that something, you know, wasn't quite right by the way he was acting. And he had said, you know, after much hesitation, he told me that the kids were calling him gay. He had an incident with a female student, and it was that she had called him gay, you act like a girl, and there was a fight, and they were both told that they would have to eat lunch together for the rest of the week, or they would face a 5-day suspension, and he was very, very concerned. There was after hours, so I couldn't contact anybody to find out. No one had called me. And, you know, I'm trying to make supper and get everybody else to do their homework. And, you know, it just wasn't a really good scene. Carl was very quiet. And then he went upstairs to his room. And, you know, life hasn't been the same since. He always would give me hugs. And he always wanted me to do something for myself. One time he said, there was this sleigh bed that I've always wanted. I couldn't afford it. And he said, you can use the money out of my bank account to buy the bed. And I wouldn't do it. But that's the kind of kid he was. And I miss him so much. And I will for the rest of my life. But I know that we have a lot of work to do. I know that bullying is not a gay issue or a straight issue. It's a safety issue.
It's about what kind of learning environment we want our children to have and how far we're willing to go to protect and teach them.
I could, stay in my house and cry every day, but I really wanted everyone to know who Carl was. And I wanted people to know my son was not alive because of what happened to him in his environment in school. I could not protect him from the hours of 8 to 3.
I hope that more and more people hear these stories and determine that this should be the last child that is ever in this horrible situation. It's up to adults to protect children, and we must take action to do so.
I think if more families and people realize that they should not pass judgment on folks, on their lifestyle, but that they should make sure all of our children are safe and that their children could be subjected to bullying, then I think the Safe Schools Improvement Act would pass. Some people believe that this is simply a rite of passage, and that's wrong. It's a national health crisis, and our children are being affected each and every day.
I hope you enjoyed watching In the Life. Now in our 18th season, In the Life is the only independent voice for the LGBT community. Because we air on public television and the internet, we are not influenced by advertiser demands. But we can't do it alone. Please join us today by clicking on the Donate Now button on our website. As an In the Life member, you'll be producing television that really produces change.